Hello everyone, I am Shubhadra Pancha, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, PAD is VP Dr. PG Halkatti College of Engineering and Technology, Vijaypur. After the last class, we have completed 4 modules. So now, in today's class, we'll be initializing with the fifth module, and it's all about applications of cryptography. So we'll discuss different applications of cryptography. So that is what the module 5 cryptographic application. So what are all those cryptographic applications? First one is cryptography on the internet. So how the cryptographic techniques are going to be used for the purpose of internet. Second one is cryptography for wireless local area networks. So for wireless networks, how the same cryptography is used, and for mobile telecommunications, secure payment card transactions, and finally video broadcasting. So for all these applications, how exactly the cryptography is going to be used. So let us discuss one by one. The first one, cryptography on the internet. So cryptography on the internet uses uh, one particular protocol called as SSL. SSL is Secure Socket Layer Protocol, and which is very important protocol for the, some transformations to be done through the internet. So there are some sort of data, such data is going to be transferred securely from one user to another user for such things. So there is one important protocol used in that is SSL, Secure Socket Layer Protocol. So SSL is most important cryptography protocol for establishing a secure network channel. I think you might have heard VPN, Virtual Private Network. So this is also same. In that also there are such protocols is going to be used. The internet is often modeled as a four-layer internet protocol suite. I think already you have studied different models for network, that is TCP/IP protocol suite and OSI reference model. So similarly, on the basis of those such models, so internet is often modeled as four-layer internet protocol suite. So SSL operate at the transport layer of the internet protocol suite. Secure cell uh, Secure channels can also be established at the higher application layer using the secure cell protocol. At the lower internet layer using the internet protocol security, that is IP security protocol. So this is what how exactly the different protocols are going to be operated on different layers. So SSL was developed by Netscape in the mid 1990s for use with their Navigator browser. It subsequently became the responsibility of the Internet Engineering Task Force, that is IETF. So next is the requirements of SSL. SSL security requirements. So SSL is designed to establish a secure channel between two entities. Entities may be anything, users, hosts, terminals, whatever. The main security requirements are: first one is confidentiality, second one is data origin authentication, third one is entity authentication. So confidentiality in the sense whatever the particular user sends the data, so such data is that such data should be confidential throughout the transport throughout the transmission medium. And second one is data origin authentication. Wherever the data is going to be created, so whenever it is originating, at that point of time, such data must be authenticated with the other users. And third one is entity authentication. The entity authentication is what whatever the number of users are there or hosts are there, so such hosts are going to be authenticated each other. So let us discuss once again. Confidentiality is data transport over the secure channel should only be accessible to the entities at either end of the channel and not by any attacker who monitors the channel. That is what confidentiality. Second one, data origin authentication. Data transferred over the secure channel should be integrity protected against an attacker who can conduct active attacks on the channel. Then third one is entity authentication. In order to set up the secure channel, it should be possible to establish the identity of each communicating entity. So, very first point, SSL security requirements, confidentiality, data origin authentication, and entity authentication. So, how exactly SSL, that is cryptography, used in SSL? So, SSL uses a wide range of cryptographic primitives. So, in that, so first one is public key cryptography. Public cryptography is used to enable symmetric key establishment. I think there are two types of cryptography. One is symmetric key encryption and second one is public key encryption. So third one is digital signatures are used to sign certificates and facilitate entity authentication. Next point is symmetric encryption is used to provide confidentiality. Right. Then MAC, that is media access control, are sorry, not media access control, message authentication codes are used to provide data origin authentication and facilitate entity authentication. I think whatever we have discussed in the previous slide, I mean requirements, so those requirements are going to be fulfilled with some of the cryptographic applications. So public cryptography is used for establishment, digital signatures are used for entity authentication, symmetric encryption is used for confidentiality. Macs are used for what? Entity again and authentication and facilitate entity authentication. Hash functions are used for digital signatures and for key derivation. So these are all how cryptography is used in SSL. So SSL supports a range of different algorithms which include many many well-known block ciphers such as AES, normally in CBC mode, HMAC implemented using a choice of well-known hash functions such as SHA-256, then digital signature algorithms such as RSA and DSA. So these are all algorithms used for SSL implementation. So SSL protocols. What are different SSL protocols used? So SSL consists of two cryptographic protocols. So one is handshake protocol, second one is record protocol. So handshake protocol performs all the tasks that require agreement between the two entities before they set up the secure SSL channel. So this protocol can be used to agree on the cryptographic algorithm to be used to establish the secure channel, establish entity authentication, establish the keys that will be needed to secure the channel. This is what. Then record protocol. This protocol implements the secure channel. This includes formatting the data, computing message authentication codes, then finally encrypting the data. So two protocols, two SSL protocols. One is handshake protocol. Second one is record protocol. So this is a brief, flow diagram for handshake protocol. So there is client and server. Client request for a particular before going to establish, before going to transfer some data. So what the client and server does is they wants to establish a proper connection between them. So initially client request for the connection establishment, then server in turn responds. Then after that, client sends one pre-master secret transfer. So it includes the components like IDs and all, private keys. It all includes the different types of keys. Then after that, after pre-master secret transfer, then what is the client is going to be complete the connection. Then after that, server is going to be finished with all these steps. Only what we can say is after that, the client and server needs to transfer their data. This is just a establishment before transfer of data. These are the steps required for establishment between connection establishment between client and server. So unless of the simple SSL handshake protocol, the simple SSL handshake protocol achieves its three main goals. One is agreement of cryptographic algorithms, because we need very important cryptographic algorithms. There should be some agreement. Then entity authentication of the server. After that, what we have is key establishment. SSL handshake protocol with client authentication. The simple SSL handshake protocol does not provide mutual entity authentication, only entity authentication of the server. The simple SSL handshake protocol can be modified by adding an extra message from the client to the server after the message pre-master secret transfer as follows. So these are what we have discussed, client authentication data. Now the next one is SSL. This is all about SSL handshake protocol. Next one is SSL record protocol. So SSL record protocol is a protocol used to instantiate the secure channel after the SSL handshake protocol has successfully completed. So you can just consider instantiate the secure channel after the SSL handshake protocol has successfully completed. Before running the SSL record protocol, both the client and the server derive the cryptographic data that they will need to secure the session. The following four symmetric keys are extracted from the key block. First one is uh, KECS for symmetric encryption from the client to the server, KESC for symmetric encryption from the server to client, that is client to server, server to client, then KM for max, that is what the name given as KMKE, that is encryption, this is max from the client to server, KMSC from server to, and these are the information, these are the key blocks, keys required for SSL record protocol. So SSL essentially relies on two separate key management systems: public key management, symmetric key management. You know already what is public key management, wherein uh, there are two separate keys are used, public key and private key. Then symmetric key management system, where is a single secured symmetric key is used for secure transmission of data. So this is what SSL essentially relies on two separate key management systems, that is public key management system and symmetric key management system. So in the next class, we'll be discussing something about the key generation process. Thank you.